Well, welcome to Curfew Must Not Ring Tonight, illustrated by Joseph Boggs Beale, depicted with antique hand-tinted slides projected on the big screen just as they were more than 100 years ago by the magic lantern. Now, this story needs a little introduction. It's set in the 1650s in Lord Cromwell's England, back just about the time that the magic lantern was invented. Bessie, she's the young woman with the long hair, has a lover, Basil, standing up there in the court at right. He's been tried and he's condemned to die when the curfew bell rings at sunset, unless Lord Cromwell comes to pardon him. And desperate for his release from prison, Bessie vows what becomes the chorus of the poem, "Curfew must not ring tonight." She goes to the church to plead with the sexton, the bell ringer, not to ring the bell. "Oh, sexton!" Bessie's white lips faltered, pointing to the prison old with its turrets, tall and gloomy, with its walls dark, damp, and cold. "I've a lover in that prison, doomed this very night to die at the ringing of the curfew, and no earthly help is nigh. Oh, Cromwell will not come for sunset." And her lips grew strangely white as she breathed a husky whisper, "Curfew must not ring tonight." "Oh, Bessie," calmly spoke the sexton. Every word pierced her young heart like the piercing of an arrow, like a deadly poison dart. "Long, long years I've rung the curfew from this gloomy shadowed tower. Every evening just at sunset it is tolled, the twilight hour. I've done my duty ever and tried to do it just and right. Now I'm old, I will not falter. Curfew, it must ring tonight." With quick step, she bounded forward, sprung within the dark church door, and up the old man treading slowly, paths so oft he'd tread before. Not one moment paused the maiden, but with eye and cheek aglow, mounted up the gloomy tower where the bell swung to and fro. Up she climbed the dusty ladder on which fell no ray of light. Up and up, her white lips saying every one, "Curfew must not ring tonight." She has reached the topmost ladder. O'er her hangs the great dark bell, and awful is the gloom beneath her, like the pathway down to hell. And lo, the ponderous bell is swinging. It is the hour of curfew now, and the sight has chilled her bosom, stopped her breath, and paled her brow. Shall she let it ring? No, never. Flash her eyes with sudden light as she springs and grasps it firmly, everyone. Curfew must not ring tonight. Out she swings, far out the city seems a speck of light below there, twixt heaven and earth suspended as the bell swings to and fro. And the sexton at the bell rope, sad and old, not hearing well, quietly thinks, "Oh, this twilight curfew rings young lover's funeral now." But above him, Bessie clings on firmly, and with knowledge she is right, cries out loud, her heart exultant, everyone, "Curfew must not ring tonight." I'd be glad to know that Bessie did climb safely down from the bell. She met Lord Cromwell and pleaded for Basil's release, and because of her devotion and bravery, he was released. Well, you have to admit that picture of Bessie there on the bell is pretty dramatic. My wife and I liked it so much we made it the cover of our book about Joseph Boggs Beale. It's called Before the Movies, American Magic Lantern Entertainment and the Nation's First Great Screen Artist, Joseph Boggs Beale. It's an academic, scholarly book about how we know what Beale did and when he did it. But there are a lot of pictures in it, so if you're interested at all in Beale, it's worth getting. You can get it on Amazon. Now, Beale had been a commercial illustrator, and in 1881 he began working for the C.W. Briggs Company, the leading manufacturer of illustrated as opposed to photographic magic lantern slides. Here's a comparison of the two, at least as far as entertainment goes. The Beale slide you already know. The other one was made by photographing a live actress against a painted backdrop. And I think you can see just from this quick comparison that Beale's illustrated pictures were much more lively than the live action pictures. And as a result, they never really made any headway here in the United States. Beale worked for Briggs for about 30 years. Here's the process. Briggs would pick a subject, let's say the poem Curfew. Beale would make some sketches and send them in for approval. When the basic ideas were approved, then he would do a finished painting about 13 inches square in black and white. This is one of them right here, not from the Curfew set, but it gives you the kind of general idea. Then that black and white painting was sent to the Briggs factory, photographed, photographically reduced, and then printed to glass slides. Might be square slides, they might be round slides, they might have frames the way this one does, they might not have frames, they might be colored, that was the fancy kind, or they might just be in black and white. So one master painting, and then 100 copies, 1,000 copies. We think for some slide sets, maybe 10,000 copies. And those copies were distributed by 100 different manufacturers across the country. So they blanketed the country. Beale completely dominated the market for illustrated entertainment. That's why we say he was America's first great screen artist. If you want to know more about Beale's art, look at our playlist on the subject. We're going to deal with different pieces of it in the context of these different videos. And if you like our videos, please share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and press the subscribe button. Thank you.